Well, welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and today I want to talk about some Pokemon news and updates. We got discoveries, we got some cool things happening over the next couple of days and weeks, but the biggest thing that made me want to make this video is the realization that legendary Pokemon got nerfed in version 1.0.1. They all lost 10 base stat total. When did that happen, and why is no one talking about it? Like, am I just completely off base for missing this? Or is it really just a thing that didn't get picked up, even though it's pretty significant? Like, sure, if you've used legendary Pokemon, which would really only be on Simulator, which is a small community, then yeah, you know the difference here compared to what was initially data mined and reported. But because the legendary Pokemon aren't usable in the battle stadium, you know, what's the point of, like, going out, catching it, training it, putting all that work into something that isn't usable just yet? And then it got deeper for me, because I was like, oh, version 1.0.1, that was the update where we got the battle stadium, so I guess that kind of makes sense. It was the first major update, and it had competitive stuff, so I guess, you know, you just kind of tweak some Pokemon stats, but no, that wasn't it. That was version 1.0. Version 1.0.1 was that launch patch that happened November 11th. And I guess people were just kind of late to that. Also, it was a crazy time because the game was being data mined. I was dealing with Pokedex leaks and dodging Nintendo Ninja Shuriken. So maybe that's why people missed it, or they just kind of came around by the time they saw it for the first time. Their first experience with the Pokemon was just the stats as they exist right now. This was also interesting because on November 12th, I did a video breaking down the Google Doc that had all the new Pokemon stats, and it still showed the 130 attack on the Sheen Pow. So it had like the older version. That took a couple days for people to realize and update it, and that was too crazy because data mine, then the game came out, and legendary Pokemon weren't immediately usable, so no one, like, everyone just missed it, right? Not just me? Okay. Another interesting thing is version 1.0.1 had like weird shiny changes. I talked about this in a recent video as well. So has anyone noticed the fixed symbol squawkabilly on top of your house weren't shiny locked in 1, but then were shiny locked in 1.01? Game's kind of weird. So yeah, that's what's going on with the legendary Pokemon. Let's talk about raid events because I'm excited for this one. The last couple raid events didn't really get me too excited. Like, Charizard 1 was cool, but it just didn't feel right. It was like a mixture of too difficult, but also kind of easy once you got the right Pokemon, and then you had to, like, play with people properly to get it done, and the rewards were good, but the one-time only thing, I want this. I want an easy raid that gives you the crazy rewards, like what we saw with the Meowth and Delibird and Ditto raids back in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So what's going to be happening tomorrow, so this is going to be December 23rd through 25th, but that's going to be UTC time. So December 22nd times. There's a lot of numbers and dates out. So we have December 22nd, 4 p.m. Pacific time is when this event begins. I'm going to do a video, like I'm going to do a couple, see the rewards, then I'm going to start streaming it. So like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, check the channel around 1 UTC or 5-ish p.m. Pacific time. Should be starting the stream there, and I'm going to get the most out of this one. The thing about the Salamence and Tyranitar raids is that they were still version exclusive, and they were just more difficult raids because it's pseudo-legendary stats for really not that much benefit for not that used competitive Pokemon. That wasn't good. It's all about the rewards for me. And then next up, we have a Cinderace event, and it's going to have its hidden ability and Terra-type fighting. Now, this one seems way more interesting than Charizard event because it's actually going to be usable. Terra fighting means, hey, you can effectively use the same Fairy-type Pokemon you brought to the Charizard raid. Then you get a competitive Cinderace. And I'm guessing, like, that's going to be right before the next season for January 4th, I think is when ranked resets, like January 3rd, UTC, whatever. So, or January 4th, UTC, January 3rd for America. So if that happens, maybe Charizard, legendary Pokemon, Cinderace get usable. Good competitive Pokemon. Going to be interesting to see what happens with the Protean and Libra nerfs, and then also just like how the competitive is right now with Terra instead of Dynamax, just kind of setting up all the crazy stats for the Cinderace. So there we go, kind of a slow start, but then the event's really going to be coming together. It's going to be about how good the rewards are from the Delibird raid, but like this could be stock up, and then you're set for like a couple of competitive teams, and it might even be worth doing like the 3-star and 4-star raids, which makes the event a lot more fun and engaging, and Delibird's just free. So we're going to see how that plays out. And then we got some extra details. Reason critical catch rate seems so high in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is this. Once you've registered a Pokemon species in your Pokedex, future successful captures of that species display as critical captures. Syndro Pokemon actually reported on this before the game came out through like the data mine and leaks and stuff. And it just kind of seemed how it was. Now, the weird thing is, like, in practice, I've had captures of Pokemon species I already own just not do the critical capture and shake all the times. So it feels kind of weird. And then, like, yeah, it's one of those things. So we're going to get some investigation. I'll look into the capture formula in greater detail when I have more time, so stay tuned. That's kind of another weird thing about modern Pokemon games, is that, like, Anubis is mostly bringing us the information that the data mine doesn't fill in anymore. Or, like, the other discoveries that would happen a lot quicker and a lot more innately haven't happened since Pokemon Let's Go came out. You know, now we're actually, like, looking into the differences and nuances of the shiny hunting, the broken shiny values, or the shiny rates in Pokemon Sword and Shield, and then everything else just kind of having weird interactions in the game that need full-on testing mixed with data mining. That data mining doesn't give us all the answers anymore. So there's still some discovery things going on with the game for, like, catching Pokemon, shiny Pokemon, all that fun stuff. The raids, I think this is going to kind of set the tone to see if the Tera Raids can overtake the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Raid events. Because, like, yeah, those just got really bad. Where it's like, oh boy, I get a shiny Shelter for 3 days, and then the rest of the month just has, like, whatever Tera Raid events. Or not Tera Raid events, Dynamax events. So, with this, now we're going to see how the Tera Raids can do, and what other crazy things they give us. That means we have to get a 7-star Ditto Raid at some point, right? I wonder how they're going to do that, because then that's, like, the most easily rigged thing ever with a level 1 Pokemon, but I don't know, maybe they finally give it to us, or maybe because breeding has kind of been, like, soft phased out, or, like, transitioned into other aspects of the game, you don't need a 6IV Ditto anymore. Therefore, it's whatever. As for the legendary Pokemon stuff, tell me your guys' thoughts on the legendary Pokemon, because those moveset guides are coming up, so, like, how they feel post-nerf, if it even mattered. The difference between 130 attack and 120 attack, I don't think is anything. Like, this is 2-hit KOing everything, this is still 2-hit KOing everything. Welcome to Pokemon. It's mostly the 135 speed with, like, good stab, or, like, just fast damage back behind it. We also have some of the other Pokemon that are looking pretty crazy. Like, are there sleepers inside of the legendaries? You look at this, you just tear off the awful type. But then you have one of the bulkier Pokemon, 85, 100, 135, that has Grass Tech in the Leech Seed. Like, that's the fattest Leech Seed Pokemon. Can also Ruination? Yo, is this it? Like, is this actually the Pokemon? I don't know. We can look at some other things. So we got this boy, which is one of the fattest Pokemon I've ever seen. Like, when I first saw it, I was like, 165, no way. But then we still have 155, 125, 80. So you go, max special defense, 100 EVs in defense, rest in hit points, and, like, how do you KO this thing? And it has 110 attack. So this might be, like, the best Assault Vest attacking Pokemon in the game or something. Still a bajillion weaknesses, though, so maybe that's the balance angle. That's what I mean, just kind of give me your guys' thoughts on what's going on there. I've heard mixed things about the Goldfish, and look at that, just tearing down the 145 special attack into the 135. That's the weird thing, like, the game wasn't out. All these happened before the game was out, so why the stat adjustment? It doesn't seem like it was bugged. Maybe they tested it stronger. I don't know. It's not like a reaction for Battle Stadium letting the legendary Pokemon in either. It just happened. Now, the difference between 145 and 135 is more significant than 130 and 120. It's like, did this actually just, like, kill off the Scarf for this Pokemon? Now you gotta do some other things? I don't know. Comment your thoughts. Tell me what you guys think. That's Pokemon news. Hope you guys are excited for the Delibird event as I am. Like, I'm really excited because we've seen this for Pokemon. This is what I wanted out of Tera Raid events. It only took a month, not actually a month and a half, so a month and some change since the game came out to, like, give us the good. But now it looks like it's going to be pretty awesome. So, hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.